Hey guys, welcome back. I am Nina Silic, nutrition and lifestyle coach, and today we're going to talk about how do you start a diet. I know there is a lot of information out there about how to even start a diet, and a lot of it is very science-based, but I'm going to keep it super simple for you guys and give you some really key fundamentals that will help you start your next diet. The first thing you need to understand is, what are you even consuming? How many calories you are consuming? But to do that, we need to understand what are calories and what are all these macros everyone seems to be talking about. So food contains energy, and that energy we call calories. So calories are the amount of energy it takes for your body to burn through the food you consume. The foods you consume contain something called macronutrients. They are protein, carbohydrates, and fats. And you'll find protein, carbs, and fats in most of the food you consume. Some of it has all three, some of them have maybe protein and fats, or just carbs, or you get my drift, right? The macronutrients are what your body needs to function on a daily basis. The first key thing you need to understand when going into any diet is, to get results, you must be in a calorie deficit. What is that? That is, you must be burning more energy than you are consuming. But how do you even know how much energy you are consuming? To do this, it's really, really simple. The easiest way to figure that out is get a food tracking app and track everything you are eating for a 2-week period. I mean, every single thing, every single lick, bite, taste, everything you eat, plug into your food tracker, and it will tell you how many calories you are eating per day and per week. At the end of that 2-week period, you may have maintained weight, you may have lost some weight, you may have gained weight. That'll give you an idea of where your maintenance calories are, which means the calories you need to consume to maintain weight. Once you understand where your potential maintenance calories are, I would recommend reducing that calorie intake by anywhere from 20 to 25%, and that will put you in a very good starting calorie deficit. Once we've figured out our total calorie intake to be in our calorie deficit, we need to set protein. Protein is probably the most important macronutrient because it's the building block of your entire body. You need it for repair, you need it for your hair, your skin, your nails, and most importantly, to repair your muscle. We need to make sure we're preserving all the muscle we have when we're in a calorie deficit to make sure we can efficiently burn fat. So how do we set protein? There's a few different ways you can set protein, but I'm going to give you the simplest way possible to get you started. If you're going by pounds, stick to 1 gram per pound of body weight, and if you're going by kilos, you can do somewhere around 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight. For example, I weigh 135 pounds. I can simply start with 135 grams of protein a day. So once you've determined your calories and your protein intake, the rest of our calories are made up from carbohydrates and fats. Now, the biggest question I always get asked is, oh my gosh, are carbs bad? Do I have to consume carbs? I'm getting really scared, Nina, of consuming carbohydrates. I don't want to gain weight. No, 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 and no. You are not going to gain weight from consuming carbohydrates. You can potentially make up the rest of your calories from any ratio of carbohydrates and fats that you like. Food is preference in this case. So if you like to eat more fat, eat more fat. If you prefer more carbs, eat more carbs. It really doesn't matter when it comes to body composition. Remember this, calories are king, and as long as you're consuming the amount of calories that pop you in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. The last thing you need to do is find a diet that works for you. Now, when I say diet, I mean something like the keto diet or the paleo diet or intermittent fasting. Whatever style of diet you choose needs to be sustainable for you and needs to be something you can stick to. There are no magical diets out there. Remember, I'm going to tell you again, there are no magical diets, okay? Just like there are no magical pills that are going to make you lose fat miraculously. You must be in a calorie deficit. You must be consuming a sufficient amount of protein, And that's all you need to do. So pick a style of eating that you love and that you enjoy and then you can stick to for the long run. And to set you guys on your way, I'm gonna leave you with 7 of my top dieting tips. Tip number 1, there are no good or bad foods, you guys. I recommend sticking to a rule of 80% of total calories to come from whole foods. So you're getting all those good nutrients that are great for your health. And then you can leave 20% of total calories for those fun foods that kind of fulfill your cravings and they're more foods that you enjoy. That's gonna keep you consistent and give you results for the long run. Tip number 2, consistency is key. It's not about being perfect and going all in and then you fall off that wagon, then you try to get back on, then you fall off again. You don't wanna do that. You just wanna be consistent. So if you mess up here or there, just jump back on. You wanna be consistent and on point, let's say 80% of the time, rather than being 100% on point 40% of the time. Tip number 3, avoid extremes. Even if you're going into a calorie deficit like we talked about, you don't want to jump from 2,000 calories straight down to 1,200 calories a day. That is extreme. You don't have any room to move. It's not sustainable. Take fat loss as a really slow process. Make your diet a long-term thing that's slow and sustainable rather than making it 6 weeks of craziness that you cannot sustain. Tip number 4, you may want to invest in a nutrition coach. That's someone who can actually teach you what you need to know about nutrition and what your body needs. Or you might want to do it with a friend and just have that person to be accountable with. It's always fun to do it with someone else too. Tip number 5, make it sustainable and timely. So pick your diet to be over a realistic time frame. The longer the better. Give yourself enough time to achieve your goals rather than trying to cram it all in such a short period of time. Tip number 6, pick a diet that you can stick to and follow for the long run. It doesn't matter what diet you try, what style of eating you try, there is nothing magical. So if you cannot stick to it and you can't see yourself sticking to it 3, 6 months to a year from now, then there's no point in doing it. Find something that works for you. Tip number 7, make sure you measure your progress, because sometimes it really isn't clear how our body is responding. So by taking weight measurements, waist measurements, even body fat percentage, and looking at that as a whole, especially even taking progress photos, those things can all really be helpful in showing you how you are progressing, even though you might not feel like you are, and they're great to look back at and to keep you motivated to continue on with your diet. I hope you guys have found this really, really helpful. It's just a way to help get you started with a diet. Remember, everybody is different and you need to be Remember, everybody is different and you may need to try different types of dieting styles, different types of diets. It may take you a few goes to figure out what's gonna work for you, but just hang in there and be patient and be consistent. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. It really helps me know that you like my content, and make sure you subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and don't be afraid to connect with me. I really love hearing from you guys. Until next time.